As with so many other areas, the better you understand networking and content delivery for the exam, the more prepared you'll be to utilize it in the real world. That applies to both the knowledge and the practical aspects. As an example, being able to set up, configure, and maintain your Amazon Virtual Private Cloud will teach you much of what you need to know for the exam. But learning and practicing the features and management methods of subnets, route tables, network ACLs, security groups, and all of the other components of your VPC will mean that you're better prepared to approach the various scenarios that come up. Let's say you have a single application running in AWS, and you need to have an on-premises tool able to connect to the application components. What could you do? Is it possible to try and connect over the public internet? You could set up your components to receive requests from only your company's source IPs, but this would not be a very secure option. Having things like your application and database servers open to the public internet is much more difficult to keep secure, and that seems like a lot of risk just to manage some updates. Another option could be to set up a VPN connecting your on-premises network to your VPC. This would be a much more secure option and wouldn't require critical components to be exposed to the public internet. And completing your goal without adding a bunch of additional risk generally feels like a win to me. What if you wanted to take it further? What if you want to connect multiple VPCs, or you needed to optimize for the fastest transfer speeds? Or you needed to distribute dynamic content to a globally distributed audience? The more comprehension you have over the topic of networking and content delivery, the more ready you are to take on such questions. And since we talked about keeping things secure, what network protection services do you have in this realm? If you were using Amazon API Gateway for your APIs and you needed to protect yourself from common exploits such as SQL injection and cross-site scripting attacks, what could you use to minimize affecting your API's availability, performance, compromises to security, or excessive resource use? Is there a tool or service that would allow you to create rules to block attacks from specific user agents, bots, and content scrapers? If you've looked into this area, you're probably already thinking about AWS WAF, the AWS Web Application Firewall. Another issue that has been common is distributed denial of service, or DDoS attacks. Attacks like these have been blamed for hindering access to organizations of all sizes, and you can't know if or when your environments might be a target. This is where you could utilize a service like AWS Shield to have managed DDoS protection. The use of Shield would provide you with a managed DDoS protection service that safeguards applications by enabling always-on detection and automatic inline mitigations that minimize application downtime and latency. And keep in mind that understanding networking and content delivery, as with other areas, isn't just about direct usage. Yes, setup and configuration is an incredibly important part of building that practical knowledge, but knowing how to troubleshoot is also important. Knowing how and when to pull and evaluate VPC flow logs, Elastic Load Balancer, access logs, and what other logs exist for you to utilize gives you the well-rounded knowledge that you need to successfully handle what you will encounter when using AWS. What can you use if you need detailed records about requests made to your Amazon CloudFront distribution? Knowing that you have CloudFront access logs, how to view them, and the options you have for those logs will help you to see the details associated with your distribution and help you to troubleshoot issues that may be encountered. I've spoken about a few of the practical aspects of networking and content delivery, but hopefully it's enough to show you the importance of looking past the basic definitions of the services. If you are focused on learning the practical aspects of the service, it will help you immensely on the exam and even more in your utilization of the AWS cloud. Talk to you soon.